Hello and welcome to another episode of Ready Set Drone. I'm pretty excited today because I have the Proto N, which claims to be the world's smallest drone. Now, I don't know if it is or not, but it is pretty darn small. If you look at it right there in the box, it is tiny. Probably one of the smallest you can buy as a consumer drone, and it is the cousin to the Proto X, which was a small one that came out about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Was one of the first really small drones, micro or nano drones that I ever saw and flew and really fell in love with. There's quite a few of them out now, but what's cool about this one, aside from its really tiny size, which is 22 millimeters across and 19 millimeters high, is the fact that this one you actually store inside the controller. Right there is a little place where you actually put the drone when you're not using it. So you just carry this controller around with that inside of it protected, and you are able to fly it. So let's get it open and check it out. I'm pretty excited to see how this thing does. I'm hoping that it flies as well as the Proto X, or even better, given that it's, a year and a half newer. And then man, that thing is tiny. Look at that. Okay, so this is the Proto N. This guy is what has just recently come out. This is the Proto X, which came out, like I said, a year and a half, 2 years ago, which was tiny at the time. Now this thing is probably a third of the size in terms of its overall dimensions. It is a tiny little flyer. Now it comes with 4 spare props, which are over here, and just to compare it to quarter, that's how small it is. The remote control, as I said, has the ability to store it inside of this little latch, which is really cool. Much like many of these remotes, this one has a screw in the back of it you have to undo. It did not come with a screwdriver. And the screw falls out when you undo it, so be careful. And it looks like it takes 4 AAA batteries, which I'll have to go get. Okay, I've got my 4 AAAs here. I'm going to go ahead and put these guys in. So they're just 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll screw that back in. And now, let's see how you turn this guy on. There is a switch back here. I'm assuming this is the side and that's the back where the charging port is. So first of all, let's look at how it goes into the case. I'll move the Proto X out of the way. And the Proto N goes in just like that, and then the lid, looks like you got to get the props just right and get it in there just right. It is in, and does the door latch? Oh, the door does latch. You just have to kind of push it in like that to make it latch. So now it's stored in there. This seems to be turned on. It looks like left is on, right is off, which is backwards from what I'm used to. But let's go ahead and get it out. Turn the actual copter on. And turn this on and see if it binds. It sounds like it's bound. So I'm going to guess the green props to the front and the black props to the back. And push the stick up and down, the throttle stick, and then that binds it. It is a little bit of a wild ride. Then bring it back over here. And yeah, it's definitely taking a little getting used to as far as the throttle goes. Let me see if I can give it a full yaw. Oh, and I hit the window, but it bounced right off. There's no prop guards on this thing, so you do have to be careful. Looks like the red is the back and the blue is the front. And now there is a upper left button that I'm assuming is the rate. So I just hit it, and that seems to be a pretty high rate. meaning that it's really going. Yep, there's the low rate. That's definitely less aggressive. So it bounces twice, or beeps twice, beeps 3 times. Now it's in the highest rate. Now it's back to the first rate. And then I'm going to guess the right button is the flip. So let's give it a shot. Whoa. And I almost flew it into the neighbor's yard. And it's so small, it's almost kind of hard to find in the grass. So here it is indoors. You can see the LEDs a little bit better. I'm going to try the flip. Yep, there's a right flip. It's very crisp with the flips. Again, trying the different ranges. So this is number 2. This is number 3, which is pretty aggressive. Now back to number 1, which is the beginner. Yeah, it's a pretty good little indoor flyer. I like the fact that you don't really lose any altitude at all when you flip it. You just kind of go and it flips. Okay, I'm getting the red blinking lights. Now, in fairness, I didn't give it a full charge, so it's probably working on 20 minutes worth of charge, so it's not going to fly for quite as long. And down it goes. So if you're looking for a cool little indoor flyer that you can take with you, in this case, the Proto N is a pretty good deal. I think it was $30 on Amazon. And it's definitely crisp indoor flyer. Comes with 4 spare props, comes with a remote control that holds the copter, and it is so small that you can fly it just about anywhere, except outdoors in a breeze. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe to Ready Set Drone, and we'll see you next time. Happy flying.